yesterday I said Todd Cantwell, possible alternative to Jesse Lingard. Now they're all running with it. A trendsetter and in the know. You heard it here first. To be fair, I probably mentioned about 20 players. I'm going to mention another 20 today. And I think if you're mentioning that number of players, you're probably going to get something right. But nonetheless, I was pleased. I thought it was a decent shout. I've not got any time for a massive big introduction today because I'm on to page 2 of these free transfers. These players that are available, as I say, to sign next season, or you can sign on a pre-contract from January, or you can put in really lowball offers to some of these clubs to try and get them in now. There's so many of them on page 2 of this, and I just sort of had a little look down now. I thought, wow, there's videos galore here. Some of the players are going to be familiar to a lot of you. Some of them really left the field, and actually when you give it a little bit of thought, you might think, actually, maybe, just maybe, that might work for West Ham. I'm not gonna leave you hanging any longer. The glasses are on. They could do with a clean. Don't worry about that. Okay, let's start at the top. Luis Felipe. Now, this is Lazio's centre-back. He's a good, really good centre-half. 24 years of age. Now, what struck me about a lot of these players on here is just the sheer number, the sheer volume of player that are being allowed to run their contracts down and get out of contracts. I'm not going to say exactly what I said yesterday, but it's this feeds completely back in to what I was saying about there just not being any money in football at the moment, aside from the Premier League. I think there's going to be a feeding frenzy, honestly. It's going to be like one of those Discovery Channel shark documentaries. An absolute feeding frenzy. Somebody mentioned the other day as Juan. We go with Juan Cuadrado. Actually, let's go with Juan Cuadrado. He's 33. It's a no for me. By the way, although, do we need any more covering at right back? No, we got loads. We used to have none. We used to have no right backs. Now we got loads of them. Here's one that really caught my attention, though. Remember this guy? David Brooks. Do you remember this kid? I think Bournemouth bought him from Sheffield United. I thought he was a sensation. I think his first season in the Premier League, possibly, it was him on one side tearing it up. Fraser, possibly on the other, the one that went on a free to Newcastle. This guy was good, really good. He's on a free transfer. Now, he's been injured. He's had some injury problems, which would probably stop us from signing him. But I thought that's really interesting. That guy on a free is a bargain, right? I mean, it's all good. Somebody else, I think this is a no-no, but it's worth pointing out there because I just think it goes to highlight the quality of player that's out there. Luis Suarez. Moyes wouldn't bring him in. Number one, he's too old. Number two, we've got this whole attitude thing going on, all right? And I do think the attitude, I think the ability to play numerous positions and the age are fundamental to the way David Moyes is going. Somebody said in yesterday's comments, why not Andre Lacazette? I mentioned it in yesterday's video. I think he's too old. I think he'll cost too much money. I don't think he fits the system, and I don't think he's flexible enough for what David Moyes wants. Henry Mkhitaryan. No, that's not Henry, is it? Hi, Heinrich. Is it Henrik? Is it Heinrich? We don't mind. It's a no from me. But Isco at Real Madrid, he's on a free again. These are really good players. I mean, I can't believe it, really. I cannot believe these guys are being allowed to run down their contracts. One player that caught my eye. There's a number of these guys that really caught my eye. Some of them for West Ham more than others. I'm going to get to one that I think is a real... This must be done for West Ham. I don't think we'll be able to do it, but I'll get to that in a second. Serge Aurier. He's out of contract. Now, I'm assuming that's the same Serge Aurier who was at Tottenham. Have I got that right? Or are they like Dembele's? You can't have too many Auriers. Sounds like Oreos. Which, as you know, if you were listening to the Patreon video the other day, an Oreo is just an overrated round Bourbon cream. You heard it here. Well, not first. You heard it on Patreon first. You heard about Kent. Oh my goodness. Cantwell. Oh dear. That could have been nasty, couldn't it? You heard about Cantwell here first. Oh, stop. Here's another one for you before we get... Actually, there's two more before we get to the guy that I think West Ham should look to sign. Corentin Tolisso. He's good. He's at Bayern Munich, 27 years of age. Good size, really good. I say good size. And basically, if you're a lump, if you're Humungovic, basically, then I'm thinking David Moyes is going to like you. This guy, if it's the guy I'm thinking of, really, really good player. Again, they're letting him go for free. I guess I understand why Bayern Munich would. If you got, he's a bit of a favourite of mine. I'm a bit of a fanboy of Leon Goretzka, but if you've got Goretzka in your team, I guess you don't need anybody else. Well, you do. Actually, you probably need 10 other people. But you probably let this guy go anyway. Here's another one. I'm going to slaughter his name now. Federico Bernardeschi. I don't know what accent I did that in, by the way. It probably wasn't Italian. Federico Bernardeschi. There you go. That's the one I was looking for. 27 years of age, out of contract at Juventus. What's going on here? Have I got this right? I mean, I'm actually starting to doubt that any of these can't all be right. These guys can't all be out of contract. I'm actually going to go and double check now for you. Hold on, sorry. Page number 2. We're on page 2. I had to look round you then. A little bit rude, isn't it? It's actually giving you the dates of their contract, when the contracts expire. I think it's absolutely amazing. Contract set to end in 2022. 2022. This is right. This is exactly what we think. So anyway, Bernardeschi is a good player, really good player. Here's the one. No, ready? Ladies and gentlemen. First of all, he's got a brother. He's from Newcastle. Some may know him as I used to call him Longcock. Some may know him as Long Shaft, but I've been informed that his name is Longstaff. And it's Sean Longstaff. This is a good player. This is the new... Well, it's the new Michael Carrick, who never quite became Michael Carrick. He used to be the future. People were, I thought, unfairly on Longstaff. I thought they were unfairly comparing him with Declan Rice. Declan's better than everyone, isn't he, really? But this is a good player. I would think Newcastle, with all their readies, are probably not going to let this guy go on a free. But... good player. I mean, good player. I think he would be a good player for West Ham, certainly. Azpilicueta, forget it. He's Chelsea's captain. Clearly they're going to give him another contract. Why wouldn't you? Decent player. Here's one, though. Here's one. And I think these guys are realistic. Divock Origi. And all I'm saying is, right, Origi, he scored a decent, slightly scuffed goal against us, but he's a good player. And you look at it, if we haven't got any money, a lot of clubs haven't got any money, ask yourself this simple question, because these guys are all free. Would West Ham's squad be improved by signing James Tarkowski, Jesse Lingard and Divock Origi? Well, the answer is yes. Yes, just yes. Unbelievable. I'd be amazed if we're not in for one or two of these players. I'll just finish this page now because we'll have to do the next. There's another page. There's 3 or 4 more pages. Clearly, as you go down, the players get the ability and the value lessens somewhat. That being said, good players here. Why not? Januzaj, I remember him. He was the future, and nothing ever happened. By the way, I'm not saying we get him. We don't. Callum Chambers. Don't poo-poo it. Callum Chambers. Right back can also play centre back. I'm not saying we will. I'm not saying I want him. I'm just saying don't poo-poo David Moyes not having a look at this fella. Particularly for free. Eddie Nketiah. Arsenal as well. A lot of hype around this guy. A lot of hype. But I can't help but think, you know, if there was that much ability there, I'm not saying... I think he's the under-21, England under-21 record goal scorer. All I'm saying is I've heard a lot more hype, a lot more links, a lot more stories, and a lot of people tell me how good this kid is. I've not seen so much of it, okay? And that's what I'm saying. He's 22. Normally if someone's absolutely brilliant, you find out when they're 17. I don't know. Anyway, Eddie Nketiah, I think that will probably finish today's. Some really interesting names in there. Pick of the bunch, I've got to say, and I know this is sort of because they're English teams, it's Divock Origi, I think, and Longstaff. I think those two are really, really interesting. Really interesting options there. David Brooks as well. But loads in Europe. Absolutely loads in Europe. There's a feast. There's a feast of freebies. There you go. Anyway, apologise for the apologies, should I say, for the late upload of the video. I'll let you get your teeth into this one. I'll pop one up about lunchtime tomorrow.